this week. It looks like Republicans are finally settling on a candidate. Naturally, the Obama campaign is now attacking Romney, but one top Democratic operative apparently has decided this week to attack the wrong Romney. Welcome to Opinion Journal Live. Here to tell us about it is Kim Strassel. Kim, thanks for joining us.
Be here, James.
So the story of the week is Hillary Rosen, top Democratic consultant, frequent White House visitor, partner with Anita Dunn, who worked in the Obama administration, saying, we should note that she's recently apologized today, but the story was her comment on CNN last night, Wednesday night, and we're going to play that now. Here's Hillary Rosen, Obama supporter, talking about Mitt Romney and his wife Ann.
I think actually that Mitt Romney is right, that ultimately women care more about the economic well-being of their family and the like. But he doesn't connect on that issue either. What you have is Mitt Romney running around the country saying, well, you know, my wife tells me that what women really care about are economic issues. And when I listen to my wife, that's what I'm hearing. Guess what? His wife has actually never worked a day in her life. She's never really dealt with the kinds of economic issues that a majority of the women in this country are facing in terms of how do we feed our kids, how do we send them to school, and how do we worry, and why do we worry about their future?
Okay, so not exactly a respectful comment toward people who choose to stay home and raise their children. As we said, Ms. Rosen issued an apology today, but prior to that, she'd gone kind of several rounds of communication on Twitter and so forth, basically sticking with her statement. Kim, this was kind of an odd turn in the campaign, in part because I would think for a lot of voters, they probably like Ann Romney more than Mitt Romney. I'm not sure this was the weak point in the Romney defense, but what do you make of this attack this week from Hillary Rosen?
Well, just to be clear, too, James, she didn't necessarily apologize. She said she was sorry if she offended anyone, but she certainly didn't retract her comments about women who decide to stay at home. It astounds me, I have to say, that any political operative on the right or the left has not learned the perils of stepping into the mommy wars, because you just can't win on it. And, of course, the reason is because this is the decision to stay home or to go to work for any woman is a highly individualized one, and sometimes one beyond your control. There are often many women who cannot afford to go out and work, even if they wanted to, because they can't cover the cost of childcare. So this is just something designed to offend many people, and also to give Mr. Romney a boost, in that it engenders a certain amount of sympathy for Ann Romney.
Now, I want to pick up on what you said about a lot of women, maybe they would like to work outside the home, but they can't find a job that would pay for childcare in their absence. This goes to this question of who was Ms. Rosen speaking for this week, and we should say that immediately the White House, Michelle Obama, rejected the comments. The Obama campaign ruled them out of bounds. But interesting, the president at a Women and the Economy forum that he hosted last week said this. I think we'll have this on the screen. Oh, sorry, we're looking at Michelle Obama's Twitter comment there saying that every woman should be respected and every mom works hard. But what the president said at the White House last week was, once I was in the state legislature, I was teaching, I was practicing law, I'd be traveling, and we didn't have the luxury for her not to work, meaning they couldn't afford this luxury in his telling of Michelle Obama staying at home. And I think this is a comment certainly not in the same category exactly as the Hillary Rosen comment, but not respectful of people who probably often view it as a sacrifice that they are willing to make to stay home and raise children.
Look, I think the risk of that comment is that it again potentially puts the Obamas out of touch with many average Americans. There are many people out there, James, women choose not to work, and they can make it work even with their husbands earning a fairly modest salary. It's all about what you choose to do. And in the case of the Obamas, they chose to have her work because I think they wanted the additional perks that the money brought in of having a two-earner income household. And again, these are entirely personal decisions. I think what you're seeing here, though, on the bigger point of this is that what is driving all of this is that they see the polls. Mitt Romney has a bit of a gap out there in terms of appealing to women voters. They're trying to hit this issue hard. The problem for liberals is that they tend to always cast this in the form of women's right and gender equality. And that's just not necessarily the framework in which many women view the question of working or not working these days.
Okay, now in terms of women's attitudes generally about the issues in this campaign, we have seen a real gender gap. President Obama leading among women very strongly against Mitt Romney. The president has made an issue recently of the Lilly Ledbetter law. This is a law meant to create equal pay for women that men get in the same jobs. Also demanding that the Masters, the Augusta National Golf Club, which hosts the Masters Golf Tournament, admit women. Are these winning campaign issues for the president, and or are there other issues that women will decide are more significant to them?
I think the way to put this is these are the old and somewhat, in some degree, tired issues that the Democratic Party tends to bang on about a lot. Again, it gets to women's rights, women's equality, all of these buzzwords. But I think if you go out and you talk to women, and this is where it gets to the Hillary Rosen comments, which are so odd. She was suggesting that if you don't work, somehow you have no sense of the economy. And the women who don't work don't understand economic concerns. The reality is that a bad economy affects everyone. And to the extent that Mitt Romney is now going out there and trying to deflect some of this question about his problem with the gender gap, and he's doing it by talking about economic opportunity, that may actually be a better and more winning issue for him among women if he can frame it in a way that women understand.
Well, this is interesting because you look at the polls. Very strong Obama edge right now among women, and I think by any standard, he's running a very activist administration. Certainly, he's expanded the size and the role of government. Is the thought that, or his, I suppose his argument in some ways that big activist government is better for women than for men, perhaps, or particularly good for women? Do they buy that, or is this just a question of Mitt Romney needing to play some offense here?
No, I mean, this is the same split as it always is, James. This is Democrats making the argument that only big government can right the wrongs in this particular case against women. So we'll create more laws to reduce in more parity in pay, for instance. What the Republicans have going for them, if only one of them was smart enough to go out there and take up the case, is what they need to be arguing.
Well, they only have one left now. I guess he better be smart enough.
Big government is bad for everyone, but it's particularly bad for women and particularly bad for working women. You look at things like marginal tax rates. Marginal tax rates affect women more than men. Most women, for instance, are second earners, and their pay is added to that of their husbands and taxed at the top marginal rate of their husbands. Things like health care. Many women have part-time jobs. They don't get benefits. Having health care programs that were divorced from employment, where you could go out and buy them, portable health care, would be far better for women who, by the way, make most of the health care decisions in their family. The list goes on, and this is a very fertile area for a Republican willing to go out and talk to women about